No one spoke about it. I
Really?
didn't. I'd never, ever had a conversation with anybody about miscarriage. I mean, what was I, 29? No one had ever spoken about it. I didn't really read about it anywhere or, you sort of heard that word thrown about, you know.
I also think it's one of those things that people don't talk about, or certainly didn't back then when we both had our first, that thing of almost not wanting it to happen. So let's just brush it under the carpet, because if we don't talk about it, then it might not happen.
It might not happen, yeah.
Whereas I think actually maybe if we were more aware, not that it would take that pain away, because I think there is a real heartache when all that what you thought was going to happen, all those dreams, all those hopes suddenly go.
Yeah. And I think that was what made me so sad. I thought, well, I'm not going to have this baby. And I'm not going to put this baby in my lovely pram. And I'm not going to have that picture walking out the hospital with the car seat. I think it's all the things that you associate with having a baby, your first baby, all the things you're excited for, and the first outfit and things like that. It all sort of went vroom.
Did you allow yourself to grieve?
I think I went to work.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I'm pretty sure. Well, we drove to the hospital. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I didn't know. And I got to the hospital and she was like, oh, you're having a miscarriage. And I was like, oh, right, well, why? Or what, what do I do now? I had no idea. My mum didn't have any idea. She'd never had one. It was sort of like, my mum was a bit like, I don't know. I think you just have to, phone the doctor. And you phone the doctor and yeah, it's a miscarriage. And I just remember thinking, I'm Googling it and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Going to the hospital, you're like, I'll go home, carry on. And it was just a really strange feeling that...
Very true, actually, about
no one could help me.
Yeah.
No one could tell me what to do next. No one was there to say, well, if you need to talk about it, phone this number or speak to this person. It was just like, oh, yeah, you're having a miscarriage.
Because if you're having a miscarriage and
Out
it's all going to happen in itself, you don't need a D&C or anything like that. It is that thing if you just go off and you do it. And actually, where is that support in those moments?
There wasn't any. And I think then I had another miscarriage. And that's when I thought, right, I need to be able... I'm in a position where I can talk about this openly.
Yeah.
I'm quite an open person. Let's talk about it. And actually, weirdly, the more I spoke about it, people were just coming at me with, oh, I've had a miscarriage. Oh, I know someone who's had... And all of a sudden, all these people that I'd known for years and years and years had miscarriages. And I had no idea. And then I sort of thought, okay, well, I've got to try and get this more out there. I don't ever want anyone to feel how I felt in that first instance. So
that thing, isn't it? Even though you know that you can't take away the pain from other people, somehow... letting other people know that they're not on their own, because I do think it's the loneliest grief, because all those dreams and hopes, that they're yours, so they're a very personal thing. So I think it is something that you do experience in a very isolated way. However, knowing that there are other people dealing with their own special grief, I think there is something unifying in that. You were 7 weeks with both of them as well, weren't you?
Yeah, between 7 and 9 weeks.
So falling pregnant the second time, how was that after the first loss?
I've never enjoyed a pregnancy because I always think, oh, it's going to go. Yeah. It's going to go. And I'm lucky enough, you had to have 3 miscarriages, I think, before you could go anywhere. And the second miscarriage I had a friend who, because of talking about it, she said, oh, that happened to me. Go and see this man. So I did, and we had I was lucky enough to be able to take it upon myself, pay for it privately, and they tested Matt, they tested me, and nothing came back, but there was still a tiny bit, like the size of a grain of rice, left there. And they kept saying to me, wait another cycle, and it went on for months. And I met this man called Bill Smith. He actually just won an OBE, and he is like the David Attenborough of the womb. He sounds like him, he looks like him, and without this man, I wouldn't have children. And he said to me, emotionally, it's enough. You cannot do this for another month. He could just see the pain of waiting for this tiny bit of whatever was there to go.
What, did they just think it was going to sort of... whatever?
Well, every month it was getting smaller, but it was like 0.000 of a millimetre. Like, it was the most tiniest. It was a part of a fetus or part of a whatever was there. And it was every month you'd be thinking, oh, it would be gone now, I can try again. Another month, oh no, it's not gone, can't try again. Another month, you can't try. And it just went on for like 6 months. And he said, it's enough. Go and have a D&C. So I did have that done privately because you couldn't have it done on the NHS. Yeah. And then that was it. We just kept trying. But it was terrifying. It did take away the excitement of being pregnant.
Well, I've heard you saying before that your the second pregnancy, you definitely didn't have that excitement. It's almost like you were waiting for the miscarriage to come that time.
Always. All of them have been the same. You know, even once I was lucky enough to find out what my problem was, and I just basically don't make any progesterone after 7 weeks.
Right.
So I can take progesterone and know that I've got a really good chance of having a successful pregnancy. Even still, knowing that it worked, even with Gypsy, my mum would say, can we buy stuff now? We're like 34 weeks. No, you can't. Didn't want to buy anything. I didn't have anything.
There's certainly a thing, I think, once you've gone through a loss, every day feels like an achievement.
Yeah.
You know, every toilet trip feels like an achievement.
Yeah.
You know.
You just think, I'm nearly there. It could all go tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's that thing of when I still don't understand why the 12-week thing is there, because you can lose a baby at 24 weeks. You can lose a baby at 39 weeks. You can lose a baby at any point. And actually that first 12 weeks is when I needed someone more than ever.
Yeah.
Because you're not allowed to tell anyone. But really you need to tell everyone so everyone can say to you, it will be fine. Or if it's not, we're here.
You did. You raised a lot of awareness around the impact on depression and suicide rates and stuff like that. What did it give you to actually campaign like that for other people? Did it give you a focus and a drive, knowing that actually if you could talk about it, you'd make change for other people?
Yes, that was it. I didn't want anyone to be in that position that I was when I was sat on my bed Googling what has happened to me. Yeah. What is this? And where do I go from here? And I just thought, I'm in a position, I'm in the public eye. I can reach the public much easier than you know, Joe Bloggs down the road. Yeah. I have to do something. It felt like it's my responsibility to try and just get people to talk about it. I never thought I could change it. I can't change it. But just talk about it, because actually that made the world of difference to me. It opened it up. Yeah. You're not alone. Yeah. And I didn't want anyone to feel that alone. I also wanted people to think about the other person in the relationship, because Matt didn't know what to say to me. I didn't know what to say to Matt. And there was this awkwardness between us that wasn't there before. Yeah. That we didn't know. And also maybe he's sad. I never thought about that the first time. Yeah. And also wanted to make sure that, you know, somebody did check in with the other person. Because it does affect them. It's not in their body, but that was going to be their baby too.